Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour, you can see we are playing well, pretty nicely within these levels at the moment. We obviously hit a 4 hour 9. Well, actually, we didn't hit a 4 hour 9. Reversed off the 4 hour 8. So you could potentially say we got a front ran, but yeah, we're coming into it the 4 hour 9, whilst also at the support level. So if we were ever going to get a front ran, the 9, that would be the time. But yeah, a nice bounce. Basically from level to level, a good dollar value bounce that is. That is a low of 46,500 to a high of over 49,500. So a good bounce. But yeah, we do find ourselves obviously still under this 50,000 level. So yeah, we've got to try and get back above here if we can save this trend, even if it is in just the short term, because we are still heavily downward skewed. Basically with 4 hour candle closures over 58,500 only being the real point at which we can with a certain degree of confidence look for all-time highs and the bull run to continue. We are obviously a long way away from that, but that is not to say we can't get a healthy bounce even from this sub 50k level into the mid 50k levels. That is kind of what I'm expecting, stroke hoping for. But yeah, that is pretty much what I'm expecting for. Obviously, we'll have to play it level by level, wait for the confirmations, but getting back above 50k, if we can get above 53,000 as well on a 4 hour candle closing basis, then I think at that point we are looking at the bull trap to play out. And obviously that's not, we could then just trade out this range, get over 58.5 and go bullish. But I think there's until we get over 58.5, I would actually be expecting us to take out this 46,000 and come down into the low 40s. So that is literally my base case scenario at the moment, is we are going to hit low 40,000s, and the only way that is invalidated is by taking out and closing above 58,500. Anywhere in this zone, I just think is just prime for printing a lower high relative to these highs, and then obviously looking for the lower low relative to these lows. So yes, that is what I am thinking. But yeah, obviously we just trade it level by level. We may not even get above 50,000. We may come and take out 46,000, take out this support, and then we are coming straight down into the low 40,000s. Well, right away. And we will not pass go, and we will not collect $200. So there you go. So yeah, let's have a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin as well, because we do have this target, my target, where I am kind of wanting us to get to take some Ethereum risk off. So yeah, still looking okay in this trend. Still looking okay here. I think if we can get that move over 50,000, especially over 53,000 for Bitcoin, I think there will be some more optimism coming to potentially the altcoin markets. We get like that potentially one last push, because I think it may be one last push before we then test some downside. But yeah, one last push up. And then yeah, we get our exit, and then we can just sit back and reassess the ensuing price action. If we look at it in the US dollar as well, you can still kind of picture this diagonal, if you're not diagonal, what's it called, diamond, that's it. So yeah, we are looking for a move in this. We'll just extend this level along a bit as well. Oops, not that one. Let's extend this one along a bit. In fact, we can delete that because that was just our other thingy target. Now that makes life easier. We'll just extend these targets, these levels along a bit. But yeah, are we gonna get that pump up, that one last pump up into the 5Ks. I mean, if we actually look at this, if we want to look at this as a larger time frame bull flag, then I mean, this is just drawn roughly. We're not gonna leave this on, and we could be looking, yeah, I mean, that takes us into 5,000, 5,500 roughly. So yeah, targets of 5,000, and then for a pullback from that point, I definitely think are a possibility. As to whether I think they're most likely or not, I mean, to be honest, this is a dollar value, so realistically it depends whether obviously Bitcoin gets above 50k, towards 53,000 and maybe even over. It will all depend on that, and then obviously it will also depend on whether this does get up to this target or whether we just roll over and start to test some sideways to down from here. But yeah, we should actually have a very interesting week, I think, because stock market is looking like they want to recover a bit. Obviously, dollar looking weaker. We have got potential euphoria coming into just markets as a whole, which then could obviously feed through to cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin dominance absolutely tanking. I mean, again, this lines up as well. Do we get this squeeze down into this area? I mean, it almost looks to me like it's just too perfect a scenario for us to to happen. So either we don't make it, or we just blast all the way through. Ethereum goes to 8,000. The Satoshi pairing goes even higher. Bitcoin then just goes to all-time highs. I mean, I don't think that is what is going to happen. Maybe not everybody is analysing this market the same way. Maybe it isn't as blindingly what would be an obvious trade to me. Maybe it's not that blindingly obvious to everybody, but maybe it won't even play out anyway. But it is looking very likely that we get a push down into here before some medium-term pullback. It's looking like we get a push up into this level before we get a medium-term pullback, and potentially even, obviously this is dollar value, yeah, potentially even a push up into 5,000 before we get a pullback, and then obviously with Bitcoin a push up into this level before we then get a pullback. It is all looking primed for if this does happen in all of those assets, that then be the point where we then roll over. So yeah, that is what I am looking at. Obviously, if we do, obviously there is the counter. No, it's not a counter argument, but there is the fact if we do regain this channel, and then yeah, do start to make progress, then you can then target the top. But again, I mean, I would be saying, just regaining this channel isn't good enough, because the channel is one thing, but obviously we then do have this series of higher lows. So again, I mean, it just comes down to break 58.5k, and then yeah, definitely target the top of the channel by all means, for a high likelihood trade. But yeah, we have got to be cognizant of the fact that we may not even get this get out of jail free pump up, and we may just roll over. We may take out this and come down. I mean, in much the same way that this price action, I mean, you cannot say this does not look very similar. This does look very similar, and we do know markets like to move in threes. So we had the one pullback, the one, the two, and then the three before we recovered. You could definitely say we've only had the one here. So the three moves down could easily bring us down to the low 40s, maybe even lower on a wick basis. Not that things have to play out exactly like this. And like I said, we could get a nice bull trap move, a bull trap into this zone. So yeah, quite a bit of negativity there, obviously, if you're a bull. But I mean, we just got to trade the trend, haven't we? Got to trade what we're looking at. We were looking at higher highs and higher lows, and we're now clearly looking at lower highs and lower lows. So what can we do other than analyze the market that we have in front of us? Not much else to look at on here because it is the weekend, so we will just have a quick perusal of these stochastics. So yeah, 4 hour, I mean, it's flip-flopping around. If it gets going to the upside, it will get us through 50k, and then we will hopefully be looking at that, at least a test of the 53,000. 10 hour, when it decides to load up, what is the 10 hour gonna show us? It's just taking even longer this morning. Yeah, it has turned back down, but yeah, I mean, again, obviously you can turn back up. So if this does get going, this would probably get us up to that 53,000, and then we can decide what to do. At that point, we would obviously hope this 12-hour turning up and this daily turning up could get us through that 50,000, get us into this zone here, and then yeah, we'll just have to assess it how it goes. See if we do get the bull trap. If we get rejected at this mid-level, 55k, do we get rejected? Do we get all the way up to 58.5k and get rejected? Or do we just simply get rejected by the 53,000 level and then come down? Which I mean, if we do that, I mean that could spark a load of excitement and get us that 5k Ethereum target. It could do. It would be close. It would be close, but I mean, I do think if we do get up to this 53,000, I do think the market manipulators and the whales will be looking for that bull trap, potentially even 55,000 as a solid target. If they have the ability to do that and then roll over, then take this out level, and then yeah, then it will be all bets are off, basically. So yeah, it will be an interesting week. It will be an interesting week. I don't like making those sort of stuff, we're going to go up and then down predictions. It's hard enough to pick the direction up or down from any given point, let alone up and then down from to a certain level. Those predictions generally don't work out that well, but we will just play it as we go, as we see the market, as we see the price action develop. But yeah, I do think into next week, especially if we see this optimism just generally in stock markets and the dollar still weakening, which it clearly looks like it's going to, then yeah, I do think we do get a pull. I do think we will get a nice bounce, and then like, yeah, I mean, from high to low, the midpoint does bring us, well, actually brings us, yeah, roughly into this area, roughly into this resistance level. So yeah, swing failure above, come back down. It is my base case scenario at the moment, so we'll see how it plays out. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I shall speak to you guys soon.